Hello, church. We're here in the middle of Matthew chapter 15. Jesus has encountered increasing hostility among the Jewish religious leaders, and he withdraws here to Gentile country. And it's rather interesting. He goes away and encounters this Canaanite woman, and the exchange that they have is a very beautiful exchange. I think Jesus appreciates a good sanctified wit, and this is one of the passages I think that sheds a little bit of light on that. But even more than that, it shows his great compassion toward those who look to him. Basically, this lady had a daughter who was sick. She was demon-possessed, and she's crying out to Jesus. And we see that he kind of ignores her at first, and then only does something after the disciples ask him to jump into action. Behold, a Canaanite woman from that region came out and was crying, "Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely oppressed by a demon." But he did not answer her a word. That's kind of a severe silence, we would think. We tend to assume, Jesus, come on, you answer, you're loving, you're filled with compassion. Why can't you just answer right away? And yet he doesn't. And I think the reason why he doesn't is because he's teaching really his disciples something very important that we need to learn as well. But he did not answer her a word. And his disciples came and begged him, saying, "Send her away, for she is crying out after us." They're ready for the woman to move on. Send her away. Sounds like they just want this woman to hit the road. They don't care much, perhaps, for her daughter, or maybe they want Jesus just to do the miracle and send her on her way, but they need to learn something about Christ's character as well. He answered, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she came and knelt before him, saying, "Lord, help me." And he answered, "Is it not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs?" She said, "Yes, Lord, but even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table." And then Jesus answered her, "O woman, great is your faith. Be it done for you as you desire." And her daughter was healed instantly. See, most of these healings record really the response of the person that was healed. This account here is mainly the interaction between Jesus and the Canaanite woman. And I think really three things that we can take away from this. Number one is you never, ever, ever wear Jesus out with your requests. Ever. Don't ever think that. He's not like you. He's not like me. He doesn't get impatient. He doesn't get worn out. He's God. He's compassionate. He's loving. He's kind. He's not like us. Let's never ever make Christ in our image other than he is the full expression of the image of humanity to the fullest extent, in all its beauty and its goodness, but not in the sinful ways. And we can project kind of those things onto God at times, onto Christ, and make him a savior in our own image. He never ever gets weary with our requests. He is always faithful to answer that's why he enjoins us to ask, seek, and knock, and that we will find, that he will answer. The other thing I think we need to keep in mind is that Christ's mediation for us is good. We see the back and forth that he has with this woman. He's silent treatment at first, and then the disciples are imploring him to act. And then he appears to respond rather rudely about dogs. Really, dogs was kind of a Jewish word for how they referred to Gentiles. And they were seen as unclean, filthy animals. But in the Greco-Roman world, this Canaanite woman, of course, I think Syro-Phoenician woman she's referred to in another gospel, gets a little more specific. Dogs could be house pets. And I think that's why Jesus appreciates her quick wit when she says, "Lord, even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table." Really, I think what she's getting at is she's not just after the benefits of being associated with the Son of David and the Messiah and his kingdom. It's about a relationship as well. It's not just about bread and crumbs falling down, but I think the relationship, this woman was looking in faith to him, and he is so compassionate, and how much more the relationship that Christ and that God the Father have with us as children. He will never fail to be compassionate and act in compassion toward us. Even the ways he corrects us is perhaps severe, as we read during the worship service last week, but it's always as dealing with us as children in mercy and in love. I think the third thing we need to keep in mind is this woman's response. This is exactly how we should approach God. "Lord, help me," she says. It's an empty-handed response. It's an empty-handed plea. It's an empty-handed cry. And that's how we should always approach God. and not just empty-handed, expecting to go away empty-handed, but expecting God to answer and to give us whatever we need in our hands or our hearts or our minds, that we might be more and more Christ-like, and that God's will might be done, and that the glory of God might be seen. Now, I can appreciate how God's ways are often inscrutable. The great harm the demon caused to this woman's daughter, the compassion with which she had for her daughter, her not getting answers, getting the silent treatment, wasn't easy. And God's timing is so inscrutable. So don't let the timing of God cause you to grow weary in asking, seeking, and knocking. He is so compassionate, so loving, so kind, and of course appreciates probably, a good wit and has a great sense of humor, which we can learn more about on the new heavens and new earth. But in the meantime, it's a great little parable. Read it again, and just see how beautiful the Savior is interacting with one who barely knew him, but knew him truly, as we do. Be blessed.